What is up, everybody? We're out here in the Skeeter FXR 20 running our Mega Lives from Humminbird on the old Apex 16. I'm gonna break down a little spot with you guys just so you can see how I'm fishing some of this dirty water, shallow stuff. So I'm gonna turn the screen around here real quick. You can see what I am scanning and what I'm looking for. I'm in 12 feet of water. What I'm looking for is any irregularity in this grass that's barely shown up here on this edge. Whether it's a sand ditch, whether it's a group of rocks, whether it's a weed patch, anything that I can verify as a change, like even some of this grass right here and some of these like sand cuts, or like a good example, this sand that's running in right here, really good for everything that I'm doing midsummer in this kind of dingy, dirtier, green stained water that the West Metro is very well known for. So I'm gonna take a couple of notes here, drop a couple of waypoints, and I'm gonna fish some of this kind of, I'll call it mid-range grass. Some of it's foil, some of it is a little bit of cabbage strung in there. There really isn't gonna be too much like curly leaf anymore. That's pretty much, and I'm not really fishing much deeper than about, I'd say 12 feet of water. So since I like that spot as much as I do, I'm just gonna turn it around here real quick. I'm gonna get up on some of this sand real fast and see if there's any fish swimming around, and then work this break down. Try your absolute best, if there's a wind, to not work downwind. I'm gonna do a little bit of that today, which I may regret, but because I found this spot upwind, and I wanna work and set the hook from my left side over my shoulder, I'm gonna work that way for the camera, and hopefully we can put a few largemouth, not in the box, but in the camera frame. So let's get the big motor turned off here, hop on this trolling motor, and see if there's any green ones to play in the shallow, dirty slam fest that is the West Metro. All right, we'll turn this around. We were running live uncut today, so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll probably bring you guys up. I don't think I'm gonna be shallow enough to throw the Raptors down, but I'm gonna start out right out the gate with a Power Finesse application I've had a ton of success on recently, and that is the Slender Scat. It's a 5-inch worm. 5-inch worm on a bigger straight shank hook, Nico rigging, and it really shows them something just a little bit different. It's showing them a kind of worm profile in that Power Finesse with that pegged tungsten and Arsenal band, and I got it paired on my spinning rod from Vocelka Fishing and Customs. And I want to just get a nice little patch of grass here that was in that sand I just had idled over. These lakes have changed so much in the last 2 weeks with all this heat. A lot of that grass has died down. Things have started to change. Fish have moved. They're starting to group up. But in these dirty water lakes, it gets kind of goofy, man. They can be really spotty, and if they're grouped up, it's usually on like a sand edge or like a clump of foil, something that'll hold them there for a minute. And they use that sand as kind of a highway. Oh, that felt like a bite. Oh, maybe not. Big crappie or something. They use that sand, as kind of like a traffic way to get all their food. So what I want to do is I want to put myself outside of that sand ditch and make real good casts in and around that grass. I'm using 10-pound Power Pro, 10-pound fluorocarbon. You could go up even higher If you wanted to in dirty water like this, it's not really gonna hurt you. I just normally have this set up, ready to roll. It's kind of my go-to power finesse, you know, Nico jig worm power shot rod. God, I got thumped one good time there. I don't know if that was a pike or what the deal was, but we got a lot of bait pushed up on this little knuckle here, and if I catch a few, I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm throwing at. And I don't know if this Nico worm is gonna be the deal today. It probably will yield a few bites. That tube, that darker colored tube is really fun to throw when that sun's been up, because I can get it in and around the grass and really pop it out. Things to note when you're casting at schools of fish or looking for schools of fish, always remember what you casted at. You know, I just threw up at, you know, a specific boat dock with a specific color canopy. I'm gonna remember that if I hit spot lock. Grass. That way, if there are a bunch of fish there, I know exactly where my last cast was. Might be a few fish up there. Carpet's getting hot, boy. Jeez. Might just throw the sandals on. 60 feet tan cover. Remember that. 60 feet tan cover. Holy, sandals are even hotter than the carpet. Coming through the grass, looking around. Really not that deep. I think I'm sitting in 8 feet of water. Eight feet. Ooh, I don't know. Might just back up a little bit more. Let's make another cast here. I like the clump of grass on my 360 at 1 o'clock. It's in between the two docks. In between the two docks. Spot lock. Wind's picking up. Gonna sit here for a minute. Right. Got him. Oh. Okay. Kind of hit like a pike. Really thudded it. Really hit it hard. There'd be 2 bites on the sling. I don't know if they're active enough to take it all in. Not sure. Hook point is right. Cast at the dock now, just a little bit to the right, more 2 o'clock. That one hit it pretty good. I don't know what they're doing now. They're in that grass a little more than I thought. Very well could be. I'm gonna kind of walk you through some of my thoughts as I kind of break this spot down too. God, that sun's straight up overhead. I mean, straight overhead. So it's not like they're gonna be positioned on one side of the grass over the other, in my opinion. I'm gonna make one more cast at 11 o'clock. No, I'm not. It's not small. It feels like a bat. That was an okay one. He wanted all of that, boys. All right. So that fish came halfway back to the boat. So I may be a little too far in. I may be. However, that grass is 50 feet from me to my left and about the same distance straight ahead. And I'm going to show you real quick what that looks like. It looks like this. Bring this power source with me too, just so I don't lose the live feed here. Woo! We're gonna go around everything real quick. Okay. So 360, right? I have my split screen. Sometimes, like now, I don't need the map. I'll just maximize the screen. You can hold 2 fingers on it too if you want to, but 2 fingers on the Explorer unit. You can see these clumps of grass up here. You see that? Okay, I'm in. It says 12.5 feet. Forward facing says a little bit more like 9, but you know, forward 30 feet out, my trolling motor's turned. You can see a couple of fish sitting up in there. They're just sitting on the inside edges, about right there, you know, of that grass. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll zoom in one time, zoom out, see what's in there, get myself situated in a good position where I got good depth. Now there's a lot of bait and stuff swimming around. Water temp's crazy high, 84 degrees. But I'm going to throw that bait up there a couple more times and then fish to the left because I can see a couple more beans over there on the left-hand side. I think there's some things going on up there that deserve a little investigation. Now, I'm gonna try to not make a mess of this thing. Should be able to get pretty good shot from there. Right at that dock again. See how many more of his buddies are willing to play. I'm gonna change between, I think, 3 different baits. Tube, drop shot, Nico. Tube, drop shot, Nico. And really see how many of those fish are up tight to the grass or if they're pushed out here in that 8 to 10. But that fish straight up gowed it, dude. He just straight up laid the law. And that sand is so easy to see with 360. All right, 30 feet into that grass. Got him. All right, that was at that dock again. You can see how that rod loads up. When you get on that good bite, I'm gonna loosen the drag a little bit. This might be a little better one. It's holding on. That power Nico is so much fun because when they grab it, you could just give it to them. A little better, but he is not going anywhere. And let me show you why. I mean, in the freaking mouth, bud. Look at that hook set. Right through top of the nose. Good 3-pounder. And I'm sure there's a handful more up there if I caught 2 in one spot like that. They're going. So let's talk about this slender scat a little bit. Nico rig, sometimes I'm pink up, sometimes I'm pink down. Today I am pink down, but I'm using an arsenal band in the middle, if you can't see that right there. Arsenal band with a tungsten 1/4 ounce, 5/16 ounce nail weight. Got our line wrapped around the tip here a little bit. And they're wanting it on the bottom. So I'm pairing it with a much more aggressive 1/0 straight shank hook. And if you haven't seen the Slender Scat, it looks like this. It's from Depths. You can get them at Thorne Bros. Aaron Teal sells a bunch of their JDM stuff. You know, to Thorne Bros. He's a wholesaler there, but that is kind of the deal right now. So power fishing these pressured bass with a worm style bait, the Slender Scat, it just moves a little bit different. And there's a whole pile of them up there, I think. That was my second cast. 2 for 2. We've got a lot of bait outside of us right now. A lot of bait outside of us. Got good grass. Kind of clumpy, that sand. And I'm just gonna like hold that Nico up and shake that band a little bit just to get it to kind of walk and stand up and give them a target, because it's super dirty water. So you want to just give them just a little something, and when you load up on the grass, you can kind of pop it out and then let it fall back down. It's like a power version of a wacky worm and a finesse version of a jig worm. Oh, got him. Oh, dang it. He folded that Slender Scat right. It looks like there's a bunch more up there. That would be 3 for 3 casts. Okay, I see 2 or 3 more fish off to our right. Now this weed edge, if you can envision it, it's coming out at a 45-degree angle, and I am in the cut, in the V, I guess is what it looked like on that. Is what it looked like on that side of me. Set 2 or 8 foot is highlighted, and I'm just outside of that. Oh, that would have been two more fish that I would have had in the boat there real quick. Sometimes when they hit it like that on that bigger worm, I just let them soak on it for a minute, but there's nothing you can do when they inhale it and that plastic folds over itself. It's kind of ridiculous. But let's give it another shot here. Boat rotated, right? But I remembered at the blue canopy at the dock. I'm kind of still throwing now. It's more like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock from the edge of the boat. Grass, you see that? Just how that tip loads in the grass just a little bit. So I'll just pop it free, get it out of there. Let it fall back down. You gotta be very patient. This is a super finessey approach, but because I altered it and made it more power fishing by throwing some more weight in and throwing it on a heavy spinning rod, I can kind of shimmy it back a little quicker if I want to. Now I'll give this same cast, you know, two more tries, and then I'll throw a different bait in there. I'll throw a different bait in there. I might even huck a minnow in there and just try it. Got him. Oh, God. That one is pecking at it like a bluegill. It could have been a big crappie there. And that one again, that was like, I was about to reel up. That was almost right below the boat that time. Oh, just shake it back, getting excited. Gal, that one just throttled it again. Now I am getting really excited. Got fish all over me, in front of me, behind me, to the side of me. The more I sit here, the more I realize there's a ton of fish doing something around here. What am I gonna do here? Maybe a little smaller bait would be the deal. I do have a witch flat. A witch flat from Aaron Teal, and I think I picked up a few more. I picked up a few more from Thorne Bros. A little skinnier ones, but these witch flats can be really good. Yeah, I got a freaking scale on the side of that one. Just flip this guy around. Go a little more pink at it. Let's go slightly more left. Not a lot, just a little. And I thought I was gonna be running down this bank, but you catch one right away and it's like, well, spot lock it and sit there for a minute, boy. No reason to run. No reason to keep running to find more fish if you located a bite. That is one of the crucial things I learned with PJ Patrick McDeed. He taught me how to just sit in one spot, and if you need to relocate them, move 15, 20 feet at a time and just pinpoint where you're casting. It's so crucial when you can't see the vegetation in dirty water like this. And there's a lot going on. I think I'm gonna make a cast more to the right of that dock now. We got some pontooners playing, I don't know what they're playing. Musical chairs with the boats, I guess. I don't think she wanted to mess me up. I think it was the deal. She wanted to kind of be polite, which is nice. One more fish on the old slender scat would be pretty dope. Just is something different, man. Something so different. It shimmies different. It falls different. Yeah, 360 image is keeping me right where I want to be. And I think my next cast is going to be right of that dock a little ways and more of a gap. But I see fish up there at 40 feet, I think. In the grass, maybe. I don't know, the picture is pretty dang clear, but there's a lot of grass up there. So I think I see him swimming this way. That 10-pound Power Pro, you could use 20 in a situation like this. But because I float from lake to lake so much and I like to keep it pretty, you know, incognito, you know, not as visible and smaller diameter, I like keeping that 10 on there. It's pretty dang strong. That 10-pound fluorocarbon too, like I could throw 12 on there, especially around like mussels or really thick grass, like the Tonka situation. I'd probably have a little more luck with the 12. When I go to 10 and 8, I like throwing more of my drop shot model rod. But this right here, there's just something about this 10 to 10 that just resonates. And I see a lot of bait on that patch of grass. Not even throwing that fish there, I'd be casting right into just a lot of bait, which I like that. I like that a lot. Gonna have to try that. A lot of bait straight ahead. Healthy green grass, some version of a foil. all of that curly leaf is gone. So a lot of these lakes that were just choked out with curly leaf now have like exposed all of their hard spots again, which is super cool. And this will be my last cast with this lure in this spot before I throw the tube up there. And I'll throw the, got him. Oh boy. What do we have here? Oh, it is a giant. It is a great big one. Not 5 pounds, but it's a good one. On the slender scat again. Dude, they love that thing, man. Just freaking love it. Not gonna bolt flip him, I don't think. Just like that, dude. They're just popping it. The traffic, they don't care about the traffic. That traffic is good for them. If anyone says Tonka traffic messes up the fishing, they're crazy. I fish underneath moving boats all the time. I think if anything, it helps disperse that bait fish a bit more. God, do I catch one more on it? You know what, let's do this. I'm gonna put the scat down. I'm gonna go witch flat. I wanna catch one on the bigger witch flat. Drop shot. I think that's a 10-inch worm, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. I mean, that witch flat is something different that I know they haven't seen. I just don't know. I just don't know if they're gonna tune into it or if they want something smaller, because they were just kind of, some of them were just kind of pecking at that bigger worm. I don't know. And so I changed my rod. I changed my rod up a little bit here. This is a 610. I label it 611. It's a 610 blank, but it's a drop shot rod. It's a blend. It's a extra fast but quick to backbone. Super fun smallmouth rod. Super fun scope rod. Like, it's versatile to do a lot of different things. I just want to keep this sucker right in the strike zone. If I can get it up there. That longer leader can be a little goofy to cast. Yeah. It's never a good thing when you need to hop on your phone on live real quick here. I'm gonna just bounce that worm around and see. See if I can get one to grab it here. I think Mom's coming up to bring some pizzas. Send a couple family texts real quick that I forgot to respond to before I did this. No bites. No bites on that worm. I'm gonna try and be a little more focused here. If I throw one in the grass. Spot lock from that Ultrex is just a freaking deal. That Quest is the freaking juice. I love that thing. Man, I really thought I was going to be able to scrounge up at least 1 or 2 on that witch flat. If I Nico rigged it, it'd be game over, but I just wanted to get it up above their head and see if they would commit up. Let's try throwing this thing straight left once. Got a little bit of that outside of the V as it comes in. I think the V really crunches down right in between those 2 boat docks. And I don't know if they're going to be positioned all the way up tight in it, or if they're just running either edge and sticking in the grass. Those last couple kind of came as I popped out of the grass or scooted just past it. So now I'm just going to sit here for a couple more minutes and throw another bait or 2 at them. I could go with a smaller witch flat too. I do have a pink one. I could see if the pink color is the deal. Before I do that, I gotta have fun and throw my favorite bait. Not year round, but dang near. The dang tube, dude. 3/8 ounce jig head, fluorocarbon, 15-pound fluoro. Get it up there. 20-pound braid on my 7.3 medium heavy elite. This thing is one bad tool, boy. She is mean. I love this blank for so many different reasons. It does a lot of good for dragging and feeling the bottom and really just detecting bites all the way through the cast. It loads up nice and deep if you want to throw, some like light wire finesse stuff on it, so you can throw 12-pound straight fluoro on it if you want to. But cracking them on this frickin', oh dude, there is like nothing like it. I've had a lot of good finishes on tour with this rod set up right here. Get back up there in the grass in a second. It's been flushed out by a couple of jet skiers, but like I said, I don't think they really care. Just bait clinging to the tops of the grass, so they're just sitting there plucking their way through. Let's go right at that dock again. Put the brakes on it a little bit because the 60 feet rings. I know there was some more fish to the left last time the trolling motor panned over, so there is a little bit of a school here. No giants, but there's a few. You find a little sand spot like that, and sometimes you'll just find 1 or 2 fish. You know, you might find a couple dinks, or you might find a school of 3-pounders. It's when you find that spot that has 1 or 2, you know, 4 or 5 pounders sitting on it that you want to keep in mind for derby day or for fun fishing day. If you're trying to fun fish for just a couple of big ones, or if you're looking for numbers, and then keep in mind what the wind was doing, because a lot of times, you know, it's kind of the opposite with dirty water, you know, if it's pushing water in or pulling water out or what it's doing. Sometimes you don't want it to be cloudy and super windy, and you want it to be sunny, somewhat still, very windy, and it is hot. Air up, dirty water, swimming around the grass. You know, they're doing some things, but they're wanting like a finesse presentation up there. So you got to rotate through your baits, pick your different sand spots, play around with it, take notes, and then go back and try and repeat it and see if you can figure out what those fish are wanting to do under certain conditions. And if I can only get them to bite that JDM bait, I mean, I'm just gonna keep throwing it. They clearly wanted it. Clearly they wanted it. Got some grass. Yeah, get the grass off of you. I mean, look how healthy that grass is, boys. Oof. And that is healthy. Healthy, 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 healthy. And you know, sometimes you hook these fish and you pull them out. You pull them out, you know, 20, 30 feet, and they need to get reset back up. That's why when you leave a spot and come back and it feels like it recycled, you really just fish chased a buddy out and then went back. Just took a minute to get back and repositioned. But they're not wanting this so much. The tube, I bet you if I changed my drop shot bait, they'd grab that. You know, that's kind of a given. I'll make one more cast with it, right in between the docks. I'm gonna take a just quick peek to my left here. Yeah, we got grass. It's like 50 feet over, so it is a little ways. 50 feet that way, 40 foot that way, and then it kind of converges. Big old sand spot up the gut. No? Yeah? No? Okay. Okay. That's all right. Didn't want to play with Daddy's favorite lure. I get it. I get it. I'm surprised, but I get it. One more for good measure. Keep them honest, right? Keep them honest. Now, if I throw that worm back up there and they eat it, locking it in the hand, son. Came back clean. That's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. All right, slender scat. You know, think of it like a jig worm. If it's just wagging around its tail and they just see something a little bit different about it. You're kidding me. Oh, it's coming through the grass funny. Just gonna say, oh, one grabbed it already. I'll make a total of 2 more casts up there with this. Oh, got him. Oh, nope. What was it? What was it? What happened? God, it was just... That felt like a bass, but just... had just the tail for a second and then dropped it immediately. Whew, okay. Can I have another? No emergent vegetation that I can see. Colin, how many bass are up there, dude? How many bass are up there actually that I can't catch? That I'm not catching? I mean, it looks like there's 3 or 4 or 5 up in that vicinity. 40 feet out, maybe? I mean, they're kind of spread out, but if I go just a little bit past them so I don't land right on their noggin, my next cast in is going to be even more left. And we're going to just work our way in the V. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wakes you up. No? Yeah, I gotta throw a little more left just in case. Pull 4 or 5 out of the school. They're going to reposition. Let's go jet skis. To the jet skis. Come on. Give me another. Give me another. And I don't know why, you know, those fish were 60, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's why. Let's just click one zoom in. Oh boy. I am needed. The wife. Hey, babe.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, just fishing. Hey, Lainey.
Just fishing.
Yep, I'm just fishing. I'm just recording a little something for Humminbird and Skeeter. Oh, you lucky duck. Dad's hungry. So, what's your ETA? Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, I'm home. Okay, well, is Mom still planning on coming and bringing pizzas, or are we going out to dinner? Okay. Alrighty. Sure. Well, I'll figure it out once I get off the lake here. I'm sure they won't be bringing pizzas before then. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm running live right now, so if you want to say hi to everybody. All right, love you guys. Bye. Yeah, Well, sometimes you gotta take that phone call when you're out here doing the deal. Sometimes you're out here, a family's barrel racing down in Winona. Gotta make sure I got battery. Yep, I'm still good there. Oh, I was just on some grass. Come on, Betsy. The other side of this grass, maybe? I mean, they could be up in it. I don't know why they wouldn't be. I'm sure those docks are dynamite. "40 feet backside of this weed patch, and then we move on." Then we move on, man. Move on. And just work our way down this break and kind of look for similar things, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for like inside turns, sand cuts, edges, as I kind of work around and try and see if the fish are pinned on anything specific as I continue work down this break for another 20 minutes or so. Just hooking the grass real good. Whew, it is hot. And it is piping hot. Absolutely piping. You know, these schools, they tend to stay, you know, in the area for quite a while, which I've noticed to be incredible. You know, as you think you're doing all this and you're fishing and you beat up a school and you can't come back and catch them, that is just not the case. You know, fish are constantly moving, but fish are reloading on these spots, and they're good for a reason. And those, you know, four or so fish and multiple bites, you know, with that population there's clearly something about it that they really like. And at this point in the year, you know, that's not changing. The grass is going to kind of stay the same, if not just get better. Any more fishes in the sand? Any more fishes in the sand? Turn that trolling motor on 5 and just start rolling. Fish busting, feeding. There's crappies and perch everywhere in this lake. It's a very, very healthy fishery in terms of its biomass and its ability to keep alive and well, which is incredible. It's really not that deep. And I'm gonna just, once the wind kicks up, kind of just let the wind push me around so I can use the Mega Live 2 and just kind of get good casting angles and just good depth into the grass. I don't want to bomb cast 50 feet into the grass. I want to get 10 foot into the grass and be right on that edge. And that's that mid-range that I love to live in this time of year, because it doesn't get fished nearly as much by people that rely solely on electronics, and it doesn't get fished as much by the guys that are just power fishing the docks and shore banging. So I like to kind of sit in this zone. I can kind of fish both that way too. If I need a bomb cast up to a dock or throw out to a suspended school, I can still do that. But the amount of life right here is not as much as back behind me. It is much different. And a lot of times if I'm pre-fishing for a tournament and I'm practicing, I mean, I'll turn that big motor on and I'll just start idling down until I see the next little inconsistency or change, or I'll use my Mega Live 2, you know, on a higher speed and with 360, and I'll just comb the flats and I'll look for that same thing, just be way more ready to cast at the fish, rod in hand, ready to roll. See a few patches of grass just floating around. It just looks like a bunch of stuff that is like floating masses of line. It seems like. I'm gonna kick this trolling motor up just a little bit more. Just gonna kind of comb it a little bit quicker. A little bit faster. That pontoon up there is anchored, so we're gonna mind their space here. Keep it on about 8. Oh, I see a little bit of an irregular weed clump here. It's got my interest. It's piqued my interest. Doesn't look as good as that last kind of turn. Wife and kids said they were going to be home in a couple hours, so I'll probably just do this for another little bit and see if we can stumble into another pod or two. like that worm. You know, unless I stabbed enough of them to really kind of shut them down for a second. You'd think you'd be able to pick up a few more stranglers, scrounging. That weed growth is just kind of teetering around here. It's not really doing much. Some fish kind of rummaging around pretty quick up shallow. And that grass kind of dies off here. It's kind of bizarre. Kind of the same little sand to grass transition that we saw earlier. But the wind is blowing over it instead of out from it. So I'm gonna try throwing up just a little bit more here. Since it's such a good clump. A better one. Same thing, dude. It was that downwind side of that clump. Love that frickin' worm, dude. That slender scat is just so cool. Holy smokes, he is not happy. Maybe a little better one than I thought. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Just a donkey. Again, just freaking roof-topped him. I mean, you can see it's just gagging on that worm. That one's solid 4-pounder. Just healthy, thick tail. I mean, look how thick that tail is. Just awesome, dude. Just move another 200 yards, if even 100 yards. Find another little spot like that, and the slender scat does it again. Oh, dude, this poor worm. I almost got to throw on another one because this thing is just destroyed. Might just have one ready to go. I'm laying out here and try to salvage. I mean, look at this poor thing. He's just, I mean, the collar is essentially keeping them together. It's just freaking ridiculous, but where there's one, there's usually another one. Like we had been talking about earlier, sometimes you get, you know, those fish that will pot up in just a couple of like sizes. But that one was behind, you know, it's in this. He didn't throttle it. He kind of just mouthed it. As it wasn't really active. Didn't grab it and run. He just kind of had it in the grass, and I was able to just pull up on him and feel him swimming away. It's kind of the fun thing about this rod too, is that it's powerful, man. Like, I mean, I was able to kind of own that fish once it came out. Once it came out, like, rod was still loaded up. I didn't feel like I pulled it at the end of the good, you know, had a boxing gloves on it to fight back. And that fish was just sitting in this one, like, taller clump of grass on the edge of that sand as it works its way back up to that dock. I mean, Batman would say you cast on the other side of that clump, right? 30, 40 feet-ish. Kinda, sorta, maybe. And I'm casting middle of these trees, kinda. Just picking up the worm. I'm just dancing it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just dancing it. Every now and then you get a little bluegill tap it or something. That's good. That means there's bait around. Doing it right. Fishing slow. Fishing methodical. Don't be stupid. Don't just burn over it real quick. Hit it a couple more times. This probably be my last cast. I didn't zoom all around it. You know, I just hit spot lock and let the boat kind of do what it needed to do. And we're just gonna play this last cast out. Feels like I could probably pull a couple more fish out of here. Feels that way. It's one of those spots where I might just, if it was a tournament lake, let's say I was practicing this specific body of water, I would probably just mark it and say, yeah, this is a spot I need to check real quick. You know, it's got a couple of fish on it, whatever. 20, 30 feet. How those fish are gotta be sitting like right there. Seems right. Seems right, seemed right. I'm in that 7, 8, 6, you know, somewhere in there, feet of water. Depends on if you're subtracting that trolling motor or not. And that grass doesn't start up for another 60 feet. So we'll just hit that 60-foot mark here. I don't know if that's the deal. Like playing your edges off the grass today. If that's the deal, because I don't feel like they're in it. I mean, so much bait is out of it. Some bait on top of it, but you probably just run around and suspend it if you really wanted to practice. This might be the spot for it. Nice little clump of grass. I'm just letting the wind push me along. Get out of there, boy. Just kind of drifting down. For him. Come on now. want one to pick it up and run with it again. Grass. Oh, it's kind of fishy. Weed clump sticking out. It's like such a healthy population of crappies out here. There's crappies all over the place. And then you just move on, right? You just kind of pluck and whine and search around. The one thing I love about throwing the Quest in the water and just putting your foot down on the pedal is the amount of things you see on top of the water and through your electronics. Like there is no replacement for that. That's true time on the water, like actually fishing, feeling, reading, seeing, understanding, you know, what's around you, what the fish are doing, what they're inside of, on top of, around. And so you can't replace that, man. Like, you think time on the water is just scanning. I mean, that can be part of it, but there's so much more to it than scanning a lake and seeing everything as it constantly changes. You can't stand around unless you go fish. That's the other part to it, is if you scan it, you got to remember how to efficiently mark it all on your hummingbirds, go back, remember what it was, and then fish it accurately, like efficiently, effectively. So many kids ask me, like, oh, what's the secret? You know, what do you got to do to make it? Whether it's on tour or to win an event, or, man, it's just the will to want to understand and learn, you know, what's going on around you. And if you want to understand it, and you take the time to tie up 10 rods the night before with a bunch of different stuff, and you play around, I mean, that's the tinkering that it kind of takes to really understand how to catch some of these fish. If you go out here with just that craw tube, I mean, you guys saw, I didn't catch a single fish on that thing. I picked up this worm, and for whatever reason, this worm has just been dynamite lately, and I think it's because A, they haven't seen it, and B, it's a finesse technique. And it's very finessey. It's straight up slender scat, worm, power finesse fishing 101. See a fish just sitting up there at 40 feet. I wonder if I could tag him. If that was a bass or not. Always got to cast at a raft, dude. Care who you are. A lot of fish under that raft. Bait anyways. Having a party. A T-I-M-E, as Zona would say. A lot of sand right here. That's been part of the equation. A lot of sand. 8 foot. Inside edge. Boy, I like that. Sand looking good. Come on, give me one more, Betsy. One more, Betsy. Where you be at here, girl? In the sand? On the edge of the grass? Where you be at? I don't know, that's why I'm asking. Got me some grace. Got me some grace. I'm asking for you, Betsy. Got me caught in the grass. For a second there, I thought it could have been a fish. Plus, no, so some grace again. That good old grass. Low ranch on that nugget. Well, now I've gone about 500 yards from where we started. Pop it out of that grass. Oh, I think I just lost my cricket. I think she's gone. She's gone. I'm gonna catch one more. Gonna catch one more on that slender scat. I'm gonna call it. Could take 2 hours. Could take the very next cast. I don't know. It's a beautiful part about doing these lives is there ain't no editing. Just is what it is, son. You got to see how I'm rigging these slender scats, how I'm power fishing this Nico. Got to see a handful of different techniques that I'm throwing with that tube. Drop shot in that witch flat, which didn't really provide any bites in this dirty water, but guarantee you in a clear body of water, they would have been all over that thing. That wind is really starting to howl. Farther away from shore I get. So we're gonna see what happens there. God, I might just have to idle back up to where I started. Don't want to do that though. don't want to do that, but I might just have to, because I know there's fish in that area. And sometimes if you think it, you gotta just do it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna idle back up to that area real quick, just because I feel like there's something about it that I didn't learn quite. And that's perfectly fine, you know. Gives me a moment to actually scan this edge too as I go back up. Typically I would scan downwind, it would make the most sense, but we've been running live for how long now? Hour and 15 minutes, so it's really not that bad. I think the primary focus of today is just understanding how small of an area can hold, you know, the number of fish in this dirty body of water. Some of these areas that only have one or two can sometimes be great big ones. And just because it's dirty water does not mean you have to throw a chatterbait, a spinnerbait, flip a 1 ounce jig. No. You can get in there and you can feed them some pretty finessey techniques and they'll feel it and see it, as long as you know and you repeat your casts. Like I, you know, showed you over there at the beginning. If you're picking a dock or you're picking a shoreline obstacle or something and you decide to throw it there and you catch fish, you gotta remember where you threw it. So you can repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat until you like burn up that area or that resource and then just move over. 360 does a great job of that. Also, it'll help you triangulate what you're casting at, as long as you remember you cast it at this rock or that weed edge or that sand trough. But really understanding these graphs is crucial to like getting you there. So how I set up my big screen on my Apex 16 is just like the side imaging on bottom, map top left, and down imaging on the top right. Anytime I'm running, I just 2-finger touch and now I'm full screen running around, so I can make sure I'm running the water safe. And then when I get to where I want to go and I want to start graphing, boom, I'm graphing right here. I'm figuring out what it is that I want to target. Looks like there's some sort of, I don't know what that is, gas line or something running through this part. But yeah, making sure you understand this. And then waypoint management. I'm a huge fan of waypoint management. As soon as I drop a marker on something and I hit my mark, I have my icons up here that I can click on and edit. I have some preset ones up top that I like to run for my general and my fishing. I color coordinate them. You can punch waypoint details in and everything. And I do a ton of this on my One Boat Network on my phone, and then I just copy and paste even from Google Maps or Apple Maps. It's a great way to take icons and upload them. You can upload them seamlessly from your phone right to your graph here. You know, I end up running my Starlink, you know, in the boat, so I can do all of that from both my phone and the internet and connect right to this tablet here on my Apex 16. And then obviously my live streaming here is also very, very, very helpful to demonstrate like how I do this. Lastly, I know I talked about these highlights on my depth contours. I'm doing a lot of that up here under my settings, my depth highlight, quick menu. I usually run my shallow water to 5 foot, and then anything deeper than that I can add multiple ranges of depth highlights. But in this lake, I'm keeping one extra highlight on from 5 to 8 feet. Helps me really break down the map and see exactly what I'm throwing at. And that's how I'm running my Apex up to my 2 Explorers up there. They all communicate with one another. It's super helpful. I can have 360 and forward facing on back here too, which makes it you know, great for a core angler. Or in this situation, if I'm idling and I want to see my forward facing, I can pull my forward facing up and look at, you know, grass and fish, and I can look at my 360 as I'm idling around too, just for like another dimension. So and pretty dang cool setups here. These Humminbirds are awesome, and it's all on the Skeeter, man. Skeeter's been a freaking vessel, dude. I've had so much fun in big water and rivers and late season in this thing. I've only had it for 1 full year, but holy cow, has it paid dividends. So let's catch that last bass and check on out here. I'm certain I can catch one more up in this vicinity. I'm going to do that. I'm telling myself I'm going to do that with a new worm. It's going to be out in front of that dock again. I'm just going to get myself positioned back out. And I got the depth highlights on there too, so, or my track, so I know exactly where I was. I can kind of just slowly ease myself back up. I'll just click on the map half and zoom into 50 foot, so I know exactly where I was. Put myself back into a similar position, make a few more casts. Hooked on some grass already. Clean green weed. A bunch of bait. Boom. Catch me one more 3-pound largie. Can it be done in less than 5 minutes? In the middle of the day, bluebird skies. I think it can be. I think it can with that slender scat. I think it's gonna be the juice. Ooh, bluegill. Bluegill. Question is, do I stay out just a little more this time? See my clumps of grass up there. Nice, easy. It's got to be just the right grass. We could even run that way a little bit too. Just wait for it. Thump. Oh. Oh. Didn't want it. Oh, I know you're around. I just have to go in the grass a little bit. In the grass. Some really shallow water up there. Come on, Betsy. Come on, Betsy. Got one more in you. Got one more in you. That one pulled back. No. No. Oh. No. No, no, no. Oh, that hurts. That hurts just a little bit. God dang it. Yeah, I had him ripping through the grass too. That one was out. That one was out a bit further. Dang. He was running, boy. God. Would have liked to have seen that one. I mean, for him to cut the grass like that, it was not a small dink. I mean, you can see all the grass floating just right there. Freaking, he was mowing. He was mowing. Crazy how strong they can be. Don't know how many fish were with them. And that's the thick part of it. You can see some bait swimming around in it. Oh, just ripped that grass. The Nico, I don't know what it was, if he just got wrapped around like a big pile of, must have just got wrapped around a big pile of coontail or something and just turned the right way to free himself. But I straight scissored like 4-foot tall stalks just everywhere here. Yeah, same thing. Oh my God. Wait until you see this one. That is going to be worth it. Come on, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Oh my gosh, dude. What a donkey. We'll end it on that one. Oh, we'll end it on that one. Healthy 5-pounder. Actually, I have no idea. That's got to be 5. That's got to be 5. Finesse worm in the grass. Let's see what he weighs real quick before it gets too hot for him out here. It weighs, oh yeah, 5'1". 5-pounder, dude. Just a chunk, healthy fish. Unbelievable, dude. Unreal. Just a giant. Thick back on it. Yeah, man. You've seen how I do it. When they're not eating some of those jigs, or maybe they are in some areas of the lake, but my the spinning rod can get it done. Nico in the grass. 5-pounder is coming out. And again, some of that JDM stuff from Aaron Teal and from Thorne Brothers. I'm just Nico rigging that thing with 10-pound braid, and you know, I'm probably gonna end up doing that for the Thorne Brothers Open. So thanks for sticking around for an hour and a half and just kind of, you know, seeing how I break down a lake. Found a couple new spots today. Probably just gonna sit out here and bust on a few more. So until next time, guys, if you have any questions, leave comments below. We'll see you next time.